I was absolutely terrified. Like, I was 22 years old. I hadn't done anything for myself. I'd always like followed the crowd. I'd always been a sheep for my whole life. It takes time to kind of be more comfortable in yourself and in your own company. And I don't think it's something that you can just wake up one day and just say, boom, I'm fully done with it. Like, it's all a process.
Tony, what's the crack, man? Thanks for coming on this evening.
No worries at all, man. Thanks so much for having me. Absolutely delighted to be here.
Great stuff, great stuff. Well, this podcast is a little bit different this evening as I've never actually chatted you before, unlike my last two guests. I've been following you on Instagram and TikTok over the past kind of 4 or 5 months, I'd say. But that is the height of it. Like, I don't know much about you, to be fair. So I guess to start things off, my friend, could you give us a bit of backstory into who Tony Smith or TonyTravels is as a person and what kind of journey he's been on to get to where he is today?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, so I'm 27 years old. I'm 28 this year now. Unfortunately, I'm kind of moving on through the years. But yeah, I've kind of been had this page, Tony Travels, for the last 3 or 4 years, and yeah, I've kind of just been using it as an outlet, like just to kind of be a bit creative and to kind of share kind of my love for Ireland. I suppose I've kind of been falling back in love with Ireland over the last couple of years. Kind of feels like a totally different country than it ever did now. And yeah, so the page for me has just been that outlet, like to kind of share my passion for Ireland and kind of inspire other people just to kind of open their eyes to Ireland, see it as more of a kind of holiday destination. That there is more to do here than just to drink and get drunk here all the time. Like, there's plenty other things to do, and yeah, like that's kind of why I have the page. And yeah, like the page is kind of been a journey for me in terms of kind of stop caring what other people think about me and trying to really push myself outside my comfort zone, like to make videos that I want to make and that I enjoy, and to not be worried about what other people think about the content that I make, and just do it for myself and just make sure I enjoy the videos. And that's kind of my main thing with the page, and that's what I've tried to do since I set it up. I think it's been nearly 3.5 years now.
Just the fact that you said 3.5 years there, I had a quick look at your Instagram beforehand, and I just seen that your first post was back in Portroe Quarry in May 2020. This was like kind of something you hadn't done before, posting on social media, in a different kind of light. So I just kind of want to pick your brains as to what kind of emotions you were feeling back then, putting yourself out there on social media. How has the journey been since?
Yeah, I actually remember my first time I ever went to Port Row. I was on my own. I wanted to go for ages. I had this big list of all the things I wanted to see and do in Ireland. Port Row Quarry was up there, number one. And I went there, and I saw it for myself, and I said, "This is amazing." And I went and I was telling everyone, "You should see Port Royal Quarry. You need to go there. You need to go to Port Royal Quarry." And I was like, "Oh, do you have any photos?" And I was like, "No, I don't actually. I don't." So eventually, when I kind of said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna invest in a drone. I'm gonna start kind of documenting my travels and where I kind of go around Ireland." I went straight back to Port Royal Quarry. I said, "This would be such a fitting like first one." Because it was a summer that kind of I had felt so strongly about for so long, and yeah, to be honest, before I pressed post on that first video, I was absolutely terrified. I suppose, like you said, it was nearly 4 years ago now. I would have been 23, and to be honest, like a lot has progressed in Ireland in the last 4 years. Like, in 4 years ago, for a 23-year-old to not so much be concerned with going out or GAA, but be more concerned with hiking mountains and showing off beautiful locations. Like, it was a weird thing to do at the time, and yeah, so I was really nervous. This is my first time, or maybe my second time that I can recall, like just stepping outside my comfort zone and doing something that wasn't kind of following everyone else. And so for me, like that was probably the second time that I can think that I did something for myself. Like, I wanted to do this for a long time. I remember having such a sick and nervous feeling in my stomach when I was pressing post, but at some stage I said, I can't keep doing this. I can't just keep living like everyone else's lives and not doing stuff that I love just because I'm crippled by people, like, potentially. making fun of me. I said I just couldn't do this anymore, and I said post. And to be honest, I haven't looked back after. It's been yeah, a serious journey. As much as the photos have been great, and I've kind of explored like and tried to improve my videography and photography, it's not so much about that really. Like it's more so for me about the mental aspect of like wanting to share my travels and wanting to be more open and honest about how I'm feeling, and wanting to kind of be an outlet for men to see that, okay, this is someone who played sports, played GA, and he's saying that some days he doesn't feel good, or some days that he loves the sea, or he loves mountains, and he gets emotional, like, and it's just kind of, I just wanted to show potentially me, a person like me from 5 years ago who wasn't as open minded as I am now, that there is more out there than just drinking GA and girls.
And girls. For sure, man, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
And it's funny you say that about the first post you made. I had the exact same experience. I was petrified. All these thoughts running through my head. What are the lads going to think? Everyone's going to be laughing at me. Just the worst possible. I'm going to die alone. Like all these like worst case scenarios thoughts go through your head. But the funny thing is, and Alex Hermosi says this every time, that like fear is a mile wide and an inch deep. This fear of failure, or all your kind of worst case scenarios in your head, is just, it's not reality at all. And I think the sooner you can come to grips with that, the sooner you will face your fears and kind of grow more as a person. I guess when it comes to traveling has kind of been always like a liberating experience for me. And this emotion intensified more so when I did my first kind of solo travel or solo trip at the end of last year. I'm just wondering, did you kind of have a eureka moment as well when you thought to yourself, wow, I kind of want to share this passion online. I want to kind of pursue this a bit more, start sharing my journeys to the world.
Yeah, I think I suppose not necessarily a eureka moment, but I kind of just felt but the more I kind of explored it, and the more I enjoyed it, like I kind of wanted to show people that there is more out there in Ireland, like, that we're not just resigned to going out all the time, and just being hungover and just complaining that there's nothing to do in Ireland. There's so much to do here, and I suppose, like, I wanted to show people like that. Okay, I wasn't so confident. I didn't just get up and leave for South America, for example, for 3 months. I was absolutely terrified. Like, I was 22 years old. I hadn't done anything for myself. I'd always like followed the crowd. I'd always been a sheep for my whole life, and then like I had to like go for a coffee on my own because I was terrified. And I remember sitting there having a coffee, being, "Geez, everyone's looking at me like I can't believe I'm here drinking a coffee on my own." And then the next
Yeah.
day, I went for lunch on my own, and then I had a dinner on my own. And then you start to build this kind of confidence, and you start to have like this undefiable list of evidence that you can do these things, like, like, oh, and then I'm like, of course I can go away for a night on my own. I've had breakfast, lunch, and dinner on my own before. Now I can go away for a night. Now I can go away for a weekend. And you kind of just build it up. Like, it is the same as any skill. Like, if you don't practice something, you can't just expect to go out there and go away for an extended period of time and enjoy yourself if you haven't kind of built yourself up to it. Like, it takes time to kind of be more comfortable in yourself and in your own company. And I don't think it's something that you can just wake up one day and just say, boom, today I'm fully done with it. Like, it's all a process. Like you may say that you want to take on people's opinions on board less, um like, and but that is a process. Like, you don't just wake up one day and say, I don't give a shit about anything. Like, you have to kind of, yeah, just like no more than yourself. Like, like, you kind of build on it, like, and you say, like, okay, like, I made a video, maybe someone left a nasty comment, who cares? Like, what changed? Nothing, absolutely nothing changed my life. The comment was there, a few people liked it, a few people laughed underneath it, but like, who cares? Like, and yeah, I just think it's just like I didn't necessarily have that eureka moment, but I think just building that kind of burden of evidence of, yeah, like I can do these things, and I'd love for other people to be able to experience some of the experience I've had over the last couple of years on along this journey. And so, yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to promote, and that's why I'm kind of so inspired to promote to people, young people in Ireland, because yeah, I just think that some people have such like a closed-minded attitude about what's on offer here in Ireland, and yeah, I just love for them to have even 1/10 of the experience that I've had here over the last couple of years. It's been absolutely amazing.
That's really inspiring stuff, man. And it's funny you say that you didn't just wake up one morning and you were a completely different person. It's a process, and the more reps you put in, the better you get, and the more confidence you build, and the more social proof you have, and the more you believe in yourself as time progresses. Putting yourself out there is never easy, but if you want to kind of unlock the best version of yourself, I definitely think it's a worthwhile thing to do. I just want to talk a little bit about your socials, my friend, because that is kind of where I came across you anyway. 4 or 5 months ago, you've built up quite a impressive following, which is it's great to see, especially how passion driven you are. You are not kind of focused on the metrics. You're not kind of chasing the wrong outputs. You're just living your passion. I just wanted to kind of get more of insights into when exactly did your socials kind of blow up, or when did you start growing your social media over the last 4 years? What a linear process, or did it just kind of all happen overnight success, as they say?
Yeah, yeah. I suppose like I suppose when you really think about it, like for example, like in terms of like blowing up, if we were to look at it like really really methodically, like I've had the account for 4 years. To say I have 30,000 followers now, like like in terms of growth, like there's so many accounts that have grown so much more in such a shorter period of time, so. I suppose the main thing for me is definitely not the metrics. Like the main thing for me has been the personal growth I've made while posting over these past number of years. I think if I was to if I had been bound by metrics, my content would have been driven totally differently. I would be posting uh, more pointed towards gaining more followers. I wouldn't be posting things that I like, because I'm very aware that things I like, not everyone likes. Um, and I think that the page would have lost its purpose. The purpose was for me to have like a digital scrapbook where I share my memories, where I have a like creative outlet to kind of share my opinions and my thoughts and my feelings in a public sphere, and so if my page was driven by metrics, and I was really trying to grow an outstanding following, I think the whole page would be pointless for me, because it would mean that I had just sacrificed the initial reason as to why I set up the page, and it would really be pointless for me. I think the most important thing for me is that you love what you do, and you're passionate about doing it, and you have a why. And for me, like I really, my why is that I want to show people what Ireland has to offer, like that people can be more open and vulnerable, and especially men and young men don't just have to be so close minded in Ireland about drink and GA and sports, and there's more out there that Ireland and life in general has to offer. I want to kind of just, if I convince one person to kind of follow along a similar journey of, I suppose, self growth, well, then this page will all have been worthwhile, and that's kind of what I want for it. If I was to lose all the followers tomorrow and I close the account, fine by me. But as long as I got that one person out of it, that would be a success.
It's just eye opening to hear your kind of take on things, because coming from a similar angle, just kind of realizing after so many years spent just like in the pub and nights out and drinking, you just kind of come to a place where you're like, there has to be more to life than this. So to hear your message is really refreshing. Did you find reinventing yourself a bit? Did you find much friction at the start of this process? Did you have to kind of find more like-minded people online, or what kind of a process was that as well?
Yeah, I think especially with drinking, obviously our culture is driven towards it. We want to celebrate something, we drink alcohol. We're sad about something, we drink alcohol. It's sunny, there's alcohol, so like a lot of my friends, their social activities are centered around alcohol, and so that's kind of what started the process to kind of become more happy and content in myself, because I knew kind of like by embarking this, it is at times going to be lonely, like like all my friends don't like hiking, or they don't like going to the beach, or they don't like getting up for sunrise, and so yeah, like it just kind of naturally means you're going to be a small bit more lonely. And I wouldn't say I got necessarily friction, but you do have those people that kind of want to pull you down, like when they see you're making a small bit of growth, like, and they make that nasty comment. Oh, look at this loser! Look, who do you think you are? Who do you think you are posting online? Like, like all this kind of crack. But like once you start doing that, like I think it's something that I recognized from when I was younger, and I was more of a bully. Like I noticed that when I was younger, I was projecting my insecurities on other people, and I would be saying hurtful things because I wasn't confident enough to do what they were doing at the time. And now I can see it in other people who are saying these horrible things or leaving these comments, and so I don't take it to heart. I know exactly why they're saying it, and yeah, I think any of my friends, the friends who I still have, like they're your real friends. Like, they like your friends should your friend group should be helping you to grow. Like, they shouldn't be adversely affecting it. And if you have a friend group that is causing you or being giving you friction when you're trying to change or become someone better, or trying to drag you down with them, well, then I think it's time that you found new friends. And there's so many people out there in this space. When you start posting like online, you're kind of really displaying your personality and what kind of person you are, and it's like nearly friend shopping. Like any of the friends I've made, like for through online, through social media, I've literally just text them. I love what they do. I like their personality. I text them, hey, what's up? How you getting on? Love your stuff. Would you like to meet up for a coffee, or just meet up for a hike or a swim or something like that? And I know that sounds a bit crazy to some people, but when you're texting like-minded people, or you're talking to like-minded people, it's not going to be an issue, because you can see already that they're like-minded and they're open, like, and that's exactly the kind of people I want to be around. I want to be around people who are open to do anything, but also open to everything. Also, like, like they're not just kind of solely focused in on one niche, I suppose.
I guess kind of going against the grain or going against the status quo, kind of putting yourself out there online, it's never easy. There's definitely going to be highs and there's definitely going to be lows. Can you kind of remember from your own journey what have been the highest highs throughout your travels versus what have been the lowest lows?
Yeah, I suppose the highest highs I've had from this page or this journey has definitely been bringing like-minded people together. I've organized a couple of swims, hikes, yoga classes, and I don't think I've ever felt that feeling of how special it was to bring so many like-minded people to one place and then watch them interact with each other. I just got so much out of it. Like, it just felt like this page has a purpose. Like, it has a bigger purpose than posting a nice sunrise online. Like, like I love doing that, but I just thought it was so special how, because I went and took that one risk and put myself out there, that now I can facilitate all these other people in doing something similar, like, and as a result they can make friends. They like, I get to meet these people. We all do a fun activity together. We have a great day out, like, and I think that for me has to be the highest high. I don't think there's anything from this page that will match the feeling of organizing a group event. And yeah, just watching those people get a snippet or a feeling of what I've experienced, from taking that risk and putting myself out there. Like, you've had people turn up on their own for a sunrise swim, like, and they're driving 2 hours to get there, like, and it's inspiring, like, to see the lengths people go to kind of, that they're willing to put themselves out there. Like, it's really, really inspiring. Like, kind of keeps the fire going in me to keep it up. And I know I'm doing the right thing. Like when I see people turn up for those swims and turn up for those hikes and the yoga classes, like it's definitely the best thing that I've done from this page, 100% hands down. And like, to be honest, because like the metrics aren't a big deal to me. I think if the metrics were really important to me, maybe they would be some of the lowest lows because and they're not always great. But like again, like I said, they're not what's. I suppose the lowest low for me was maybe somewhere near the start, that when I was really trying to put myself out there, I was trying to change, and some of the negative comments at the start, because I wasn't ready for it, I wasn't used to it, and it kind of knocked my confidence a small bit. And I could have gave up then. It would have been really easy just to say, "Hey, look, I'm getting a lot of abuse. People are really making fun of me here. Maybe I'll just call it quits." But I'm like I said, like that, like I'm just so glad that I went against the grain and I stuck with it. I said, "No, you set up this page for a reason." And just because someone's making a few stupid comments, I said, this is someone projecting their insecurities on you. We set it up for a reason, and I want to keep going. Yeah, like I just think it's just such a great example for myself always, that like should you like give up when things get a little bit hard, well then like I suppose you nearly don't deserve to reap the benefits of what comes after, because they're amazing. Like once you just keep the head down and keep going through the hard parts and come out the other side, it's good here. Like
It's always the challenges and the setbacks and the hurdles all along the way that actually makes you improve yourself as a byproduct. And you're clearly definitely a great testimonial for that, my friend. You're obviously saying that the best parts of your page is not necessarily the destinations, but at the same time, I would like to get some insights as maybe to your top memories over the years of different places you've been that you've enjoyed the most.
yeah, I suppose we'll stick into Ireland. I suppose I was kind of in South America for the last 3 months, so I had endless amazing moments there. But I think some of the most amazing parts for me over the last couple of years in Ireland, like has been one, rediscovering my home beach, Kirklow Beach in Wexford. I live beside it for nearly 20 years now, and I can honestly say probably the first swim I had in it was about 5 years ago. And so that for me has been huge. Like it's on my doorstep. It's one of the nicest beaches in Ireland, and it's something that I'm just endlessly grateful for the fact that it's there, the fact how beautiful it is, and I just can't believe that I took it for granted for all those years. Probably the second one has to be Achill Island. I've just grown such a love for it over the past number of years. Like it's nearly whenever I'm away for long periods of time, it's kind of somewhere that I really picture coming back to, just being in my camper van, sitting there watching the beach in Kembe and just really soaking it all in. And then yeah, I'd say probably the third one has to be the Wicklow Way. I think it's one of the most interesting things I've done in the last number of years in Ireland. I believe it's like 130 kilometers. It goes from Dublin to Wexford, or the Carlow Wexford border. Yeah, it was one of I done it on my own last year, and it was kind of just one of the more transformative things I've done. I don't think I've ever experienced so many emotions all at once. I didn't bring any music. I didn't meet anyone. I didn't use my phone. I just walked for 2 3 days, and just it was the Wicklow Way.
Yeah,
It's amazing, absolutely amazing. Just myself, a tent, 3 days of just and it's trail like 85% of the way.
unbelievable. Since I started a challenge there maybe 5 weeks ago to try and just climb a different mountain in Ireland because, like yourself, I've just taken everything for granted for so many years. Like the different beaches, the different mountains, the different trails, waterfalls, you name it, on our doorstep, and I just haven't seen a fraction of them. So I'm similar to yourself. I've definitely found a new kind of realization, a new passion, a new kind of fulfillment with exploring Ireland. There's so much to see and so much to do, and I think if more people could come to that realization, it'd definitely be a good thing. To finish things off, mi amigo, on a high, I think, and with a bit of wisdom from yourself, what is the best piece of life advice you've ever received, and how has it impacted your journey to date?
Well, that's a tough question. I've received a lot of life advice over the last number of years, kind of mostly because I've been asking for it. I think the best bit of advice that that I've got is just to find something that you love and that you're passionate about. Uh, and I suppose like it's kind of the real best piece of advice is probably it was just to be your authentic self. I think a lot falls out of being that, and it takes a lot to become that. So I think in being your authentic self, um, it takes a lot to get there, and it takes a lot to be that person. But I think in being that person, it really does bring a lot of happiness. That's not to say that you won't have sad days also. If you don't have them, you're not human. But I think in being it, you can really accept those like down days for what they are and just kind of move on and know that there will be better times to come if you just continue to be your authentic self.